Hey everyone, Complex back with another video, and today we're going to talk about the intrinsic system in Warframe. It is your specific set of skills that you have when you are on a Railjack. Now, if you head over to the configuration console for the Railjack, you can see that there is an intrinsics tab, which is the second to last one. You have 4 different classes available to you as of right now. They are tactical, piloting, gunnery, and engineering. There is a 5th one. It's called command, and it isn't open to us currently. When it does become open, I will make a separate video on that, walking you through what's available. The one important thing to note about intrinsics is that they are very similar to like Warframe abilities, and that they are always going to be yours and they will follow you no matter whose Railjack you're on. So if you're on your own Railjack or somebody else's, whatever you've picked for your intrinsics will always apply to you and only to you, which is really nice. So that way you can spec yourself out however you are most comfortable for the roles that you enjoy playing the most when on a Railjack mission. Now, each of these classes, for a lack of a better term, all have different buffs and perks that's going to make your life easier when on a Railjack. Now, when it comes to tactical, this one so far with gunnery are my 2 favorite classes, which is why I have the most perks into them. But tactical is the ability that'll help you increase your focus on the big picture of battle. It improves tactical avionics, arc-wing catapult maneuvers, and powerful tactical deployment abilities. Now, piloting, though, is just what it says that it is. It is going to help you forge a bond with the vessel, which is your Railjack, and have improved pilot avionics with advanced speed and agility maneuvering capabilities. However, then if you move over to the gunnery, that is going to unlock the deadly power of your arsenal, improved gunnery avionics, advanced targeting modes, as well as devastating artillery. Now, the gunnery is, at least to start, the guns that are on either side of your Railjack, not the front one, which the front one is just the piloting gun. And then lastly, we have engineering, which will mend the scars of battle and feed the war machine, improved engineering avionics, bolster resource yields, and forge armaments in real time. And so this is fantastic if you're somebody that is going to be repairing the ship a lot, if you are going to be in the forge, anything like that, the engineering class is going to be for you. Now, when it comes to upgrading each of these classes, you see in the right corner of my screen, I have something called 2 intrinsics available. As you're just going through and doing Railjack missions, you will have intrinsics that become available through just playing the mission, very similar to gaining affinity when leveling up Warframes and weapons and stuff like that. Now, you can put those intrinsic points wherever you want, provided you have enough points to rank up one of these skills. So, for instance, my piloting, I only have 1 point into it, so I could take those 2 intrinsics and level it up, but I'm actually saving points for the gunnery because I want to unlock something at the rank 5 a slot. Now, the one thing that you should note, though, is that every time you rank up a skill tree, the next time that you go to rank up, it is going to cost double the points. So to go into rank 1, it was 1 point. To go into rank 2, it was 2 points. And then now rank 3 is going to be 4 points to unlock. And then rank 4 is actually going to be 8. And then as you can see, rank 5 is going to be 16 points to unlock, and so on and so forth. However, in order to unlock all 10 ranks, it is going to cost you 1,023 intrinsic points, and that is for just one of the skill trees. For all 4 skill trees, it is going to cost a grand total of 4,092 intrinsic points. Now, the one thing that you should note, though, is that for every rank that you gain, within any of the skill trees, you're going to get 1,500 mastery points, which if you reach rank 10 with every single skill tree is going to give you a net total of 60,000 mastery rank. Now, to put that in perspective, when you're ranking up, let's say, a weapon, you only get 3,000 mastery rank points, and a Warframe is 6,000 mastery rank points. So unlocking and leveling up to rank 10 all 4 of these skill trees is going to be the equivalent of 10 Warframes or 20 weapons. So if you unlock the first rank into each of these skill trees, that is the equivalent of fully ranking up 2 Warframe weapons. So if nothing else, I can't suggest enough just unlocking the first rank for everything. And then if you right click on each of the skill trees, you'll notice that you get a detailed description for each one as to what you can unlock. Later on, I'll show you some of my favorite abilities that I've unlocked to date. But with the tactical, the Omni Gear warp, I will show you that. That has been a huge bonus if you're somebody that is going on to the ships. Now, with the piloting, you're going to be getting a lot of things like boosts to maneuvering, to speed, how long you have your boost time for. So a lot of good stuff if you're going to be at the helm in order to get you in and out of a lot of different problematic situations. However, the gunnery is going to do a lot of different things for you. One of them being the rank 2 gives you a 360-degree combat view, which is incredible. There's also the artillery cannon at rank 5 that I'm really enjoying. And then there is also the slingshot for Arcwing that is really handy. Now, there is also in engineering things like you can increase how much the forge is going to yield. You can do increase the Arcwing defense, health, shield, and armor. So the most important thing is, well, how do you gain intrinsic points in order to rank up your intrinsics? It's quite simple. You just need to go out and do Railjack missions. Now, any Railjack mission will help you get intrinsic points, except for the free play that is available on Earth. That does not count for intrinsics at all. Now, the intrinsic points are gained from completing Railjack missions, from doing things like repairing any damage on the ship, to boarding another cruise ship, to killing anybody that boards your ship, and so on and so forth. The affinity that you gain during a Railjack mission has a direct effect on how many intrinsic points you're going to get at the end of a mission. Which means that if you have an affinity booster on, you're actually going to be getting more intrinsic points. So if you have one, or if there's a double affinity weekend that happens to come on by, I would highly suggest hopping into your Railjack and making sure you get at least a few of those missions done, so then that way you can have a bigger pool of intrinsic points available. Now, what you can see here is me taking advantage of the rank 2 gunnery perk. I have a full 360-degree view of pretty much everything that is going on, which has made my life a lot easier when trying to, well, destroy enemy ships, and also to see when cruise ships are coming in. Now, the other thing that I got with the gunnery perk was the Arcwing slingshot, which if you go to the top of your ship, you will see that you kind of have this little like landing zone. You can kind of see the reactors there. You're at the tippity top of the ship. If you interact with that, once you unlock rank 3 for the gunnery perk, it's called slingshot. You just come in, and then the cool thing is, you can see the different ships that are available to board whichever one you'd like. And then once you find a cruise ship, you can actually hit the trigger button for your mouse and lock on, and then it'll automatically put you outside the ship. And then if you have the rank 4 perk like I do, it actually puts you right in the ship, which is really nice. So the other perk that I got was the Tactical 4 upgrade, and a lot of people have had questions about this. What happens is, once you've boarded the ship and you've destroyed the reactor, you can use your Omni in order to warp back to your ship without having to leave or anything. So I opened up my gear wheel, I clicked on my Omni, and then you can see underneath the reactor meltdown is a Railjack recall, and it counts down, and then boom, it puts you right back into your ship, which is a really nice perk if you're somebody that is going to be going in and out of their ship a lot. And the one thing to note, though, is that if you're out in Arcwing, that perk actually doesn't work. So it's only going to work so far, at least for myself, when I am out in cruise ships. When you're out on the Arcwing, just like out flying around, you don't have access to your gear wheel. So that's why it doesn't work currently, at least. Now, the last thing that I did want to mention to you is that if you are somebody that doesn't have a Railjack already built, you can still actually access the Intrinsic System. Now, if you go to a dry dock, either in your clan or a different clan, you can't actually interact with the config console if you don't yourself own a Railjack. But what you can do when not in a mission is hit the escape key, which is going to pull up your set of menus. And then from there, you're going to want to head over to the profile section, and then you're going to want to click on Intrinsics 6, which will bring you right back to the normal intrinsic screen that I've showed you earlier from the Railjack console. But y'all, that's pretty much the basics of the intrinsic system in Warframe. Hopefully this helped if you are having any questions about either ranking up your intrinsics or just knowing what to put points into and needing some examples for like the Omni Warp or the Slingshot for Arcwing. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments down below or find me on Twitch. I do stream Warframe at least once a week and always happy to help when and where I can. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your night and or day, depending on where you are in the world, and I will catch you next time. Bye, guys.